Well, hello everyone. If you'd like to see the opening of the Dahlia Sewciety Advent Calendar for the 17th of December, which is item number 5, stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome to a very hot and sunny St. Arnaud. We've just gotten back from Bendigo, where I went to a burial and luckily there was shade there at the Bendigo Cemetery. My husband just sent me this text message. I don't know why he needs to text me when I can see this myself, but I will pop in a photo that he sent me of the thermometer, and it's nearly like 38 degrees, which is nearly 100 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. That's how hot it is here today, and the trip between Bendigo and St. Arnaud, I could see out in the middle of nowhere that the temperature was much higher than that. It was well into the 40s out in the cropped area to make sure I kept all of the car windows shut because people were harvesting hay, I think, by the look of it, and it was just blowing everywhere in the wind, so that really doesn't do your hay fever much good. But we've made it home and it's not too hot in our house. This is the only room that doesn't have really high ceilings. All the rest of our house is really old and had high ceilings. This room actually is an extension they built on, because this house used to be a hospital in the 1920s, and this was an extension they did for the nurses' quarters. That's my sewing room, so it gets quite warm in here, but I'm okay with that. I'm not too hot today. Tomorrow is going to be 39, 40 degrees again. And then we're going to Melbourne tomorrow, and we're going to Mornington, which is much cooler because it's by the sea. Because we're very inland, it gets much hotter here. And my sister's got a swimming pool, so we're able to go for a swim when we get to her place tomorrow. So let's open the Advent Calendar. And it's the 17th, so we've got item number 5. I don't know what that is. Something that's hard. Oh. This is, I'll try not to make it glare, some Somo beeswax. Now, beeswax is something I use all of the time, especially when I'm hand sewing. Sometimes you've got thread that just wants to twist around all of the time. And if you just run it through the beeswax really quickly, don't hold it in there, don't press it down. And as you can see, it's not that hot in here because that is still quite solid. What I did do was I put all of my candles, because we're going away, I put all of my candles away in the pantry, which is dark and cool. So, because otherwise you come back to a melted mess if it's been well over 100 degrees, which it will be here. That's a great present. I'll show you the beeswax I usually use. This is a type of beeswax I usually use. It lasts for ages. And I was thinking that anything I get that I double up on and won't be using so much, I can teach Phoebe how to use it. So that's my gorgeous gift. Very, very handy. If you've got that thread that twists around, and I'm sure people that do tapestry, handwork, a lot of handwork would use beeswax. Just makes everything so good. I have seen some people run it through the beeswax and then run it under the iron. I don't do that. I just do it. I'm not pressing down very hard on the beeswax. And this style of one, you would just have the thread, just hold it down lightly with your finger and pull the thread and it will attach some beeswax to it. Stop it from twisting up and make it much easier to sew with because it doesn't twist up. And remembering when you're hand sewing, your thread should only be the length from your fingers to your elbow. Don't make huge long lengths of thread when you're sewing on buttons and things like that, because it just gets tangled up and it makes it slower rather than faster. You're better off doing several needles. If I've got a lot of buttons to sew on and I'm not sewing them on the sewing machine, I will thread up several needles so I can just keep on sewing the buttons on. I don't have to rethread as I go. That's a fabulous present. Thank you, Kristen and Phoebe. I've decided I'm not packing until tomorrow. I have got some clothes there that I'm taking with me, and I'm checking to see what the weather is as I go down in Mornington, because we won't be back until the 27th. Now Saturday, which is what I call our family Christmas, which is my 4 sisters and all the kids, like it is so many people. It's because one of my sisters has got 8 grandchildren. And so by the time everybody gets there, it is a huge deal. Huge amounts of food, of course, with people all bringing things. It's going to be 22, so it'll be okay for me to wear my Christmas dress. But I think on Christmas Day, where there'll be my sister, her husband, her son, my dad, Neil and I, is only going to be 19. So I actually thought I might wear my lace pants then. Lace pants and lace skirts are so in at the moment that I will be wearing those lace pants. And I actually tried them on with that new top that I made. So with this gorgeous top, and the lace pants look lovely with that. Now yesterday I tried to show you while I had it on, and I did see the footage of it and it wasn't that great, to do with the neckline, because it is a French seam. Now some people were having trouble with how those seams met when they did the French seams. But as you can see, mine met really easily. Admittedly, this is not a really stiff cotton. I think I had an easier time with this than the previous one, even though I got it to be really neat on the previous one. Oops, just kicked that. Really happy with this top. You can see the French seam, how good it is, how neat it is. And so I thought I'll wear that with the lace pants, because I won't have time to make anything else between now and then. I am taking a sewing machine with me, but that's only to do minor repairs and things like that. And whilst I was going through a whole lot of my fabrics and sort of scrap bins, I came across these things, these tablecloths, that I'd obviously, because I thought, I'm sure I had more tablecloths than that, but I'd obviously put them already in the sewing room. So I was going to make, and I will make when I get back from holidays, a top out of this. Isn't this beautiful? It's really, really lovely. So I've got that one to make a top out of. And this one's got a lot of cutouts on it. Obviously needs a great deal of ironing, and it's quite a heavy, crisp cotton. So I'll have to decide what sort of top I make out of it. I'll probably look at doing the tablecloth top, at least in one of those, but it'll be a matter of pattern placement so that you get the best effect of the lace. I am going to try and do the 18th, which is tomorrow, which is number 6, and before I go, and then I'll be taking the rest of them with me because we'll be there till after Christmas. This is what I wore today. I'll pop in a photo because I did wear a hat. I know, the Skin Cancer Queen wore a hat. And many people had hats on too. Don't forget to slip, slop, slap if you're out in the sun in Australia. And I will talk to you all tomorrow, hopefully in the morning before we go. We don't have to leave really early. We need to get to the other side of the city, which is 2.5 hours away at least, by 12:30, 1 o'clock, so that you're not going through the school zones when it's heavy traffic, because it really takes a much longer when you're all down to 40k because of school zones. So anybody who doesn't know, in Australia, when school's going in or going out, we have a speed limit of 40 k's, and they're very, very strict on it, very strict. If you're caught doing, I think at any time, if you're caught doing more than 30 kilometres an hour over the speed limit, you lose your licence instantly. And in the school zone, I believe that it's doing 20 k's over the speed limit. So you can't do 60 in a 40 zone because you will lose your licence. And the real thing is you might run over a child, and there's lots of crossings and lollipop people everywhere getting kids across crossings. So it's easier if we go in the period of time when we're not going to come across that. And it will be really, really hot tomorrow. So okay to be in the car with the air conditioning on, that's fine. Already filled up with petrol at the cheapest petrol station in Bendigo. So we're ready to go. Probably need to clean the windscreen. That's the thing with St. Arnaud. You get driveway service and the man cleans my windscreen all the time. This is the dress I wore today. It is the Seasons of East Summer in New York dress with a belt that I made. I'll pop in a photo because I did take a photo. And I wore a navy hat, navy shoes, and a navy and cane bag. So I really wanted to, even though I could have worn something sleeveless, I wanted something to cover my arms so they wouldn't get sunburnt. Because a hat's really not going to cover your arms, only your face and the back of your neck. Yesterday, after I made the video, mind you, it wouldn't upload. It was only like 8 minutes and it still would not upload. I started to clean out the fridge and cook everything that I had in there. So I had lots of things to make a mirepoix and freeze it. So I've been cooking and partially cooking things that I can put in. And the mirepoix you can always, which is carrot, celery and onion, and also put garlic and leeks in it. It's something you can blend and use as a stock as well if you wanted to. But just so that I didn't waste anything, because it's not going to be any good after I come back in like 9 days' time. None of those vegetables are going to be any good, so I cooked them all. And the zucchini, I grated. I had a beautiful zucchini that I got from my lovely neighbour. And it was in really good condition. I thought I need to use this, so I just grated that. Squeezed all the liquid out and put into a freezer bag and smooth it out so it's really flat and freeze it. So I often freeze lots of the vegetables, the broccoli. I pop it into boiling water for a minute and then take it out, lay it on a tray, freeze it, and then pop the frozen pieces into a Ziploc bag and freeze it so that I've got those vegetables when I need them. So that's what I've been doing. I think I'll go and do some washing, and I will come back to you hopefully every day up until Christmas Day. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I believe in the Northern Hemisphere it's quite cold at the moment, with the Southern Hemisphere, and I just had something flash up on my screen before, which was bushfire watch alert. So our house does back onto the railway line, which is where the bushfire zone starts. So the bushfire zone's like 80 metres from our house. But this house was built in 1891 and it's still standing. So I guess no bushfires have gotten it yet. Let's just hope that for the future, and that they can keep the bushfires under control this year. That's all from me blabbing on. Everybody have a great day. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.